Good morning. My name is Stacey Kay, and I have the honor of serving as the Director of Education for the Ottawa-Carleton District School Board. I'd like to welcome everyone this morning to Wassesson Public School. A special thank you to the school community and our wonderful principal for hosting us this morning. It is a distinct privilege to have the Honourable Minister of Education, Paul Calandra, with us here today. We are grateful to the Minister and the Ministry of Education for joining us to share a very important commitment to our students and community. As many of you know, Barrhaven is one of the fastest growing areas in Ottawa. We have an urgent and critical need to address overcrowding at our existing high schools to ensure sustainable capacity for the future. Fulfilling this need is fundamentally about student success and well-being. It is now my great pleasure to turn the floor over to Minister Paul Calandra for today's important announcement.
So much. Awesome. Thank you. All right. Well, thank you very much. Good morning. C'est merveilleux d'être parmi aujourd'hui à Ottawa. This fall, we asked school boards to bring forward priority capital proposals, and today I'm pleased to confirm the first approvals starting right here in this community. Our government is investing $162 million to build 2 new schools and expand another. These projects will give hundreds of Ottawa area students access to modern classrooms close to home and ensure they're prepared with the skills they need for jobs and a strong future. Now, for the Ottawa-Carleton District School Board, I'm pleased to announce that it means a provincial investment of over $77 million for a new Half Moon Bay High School build at this Barrhaven site. It will provide a new space for over 1,400 students. Wow, okay. 1,400 students and help the board keep up with the rapid growth families are seeing across the southwest end of the city. In Orleans, we're investing over $74 million to build the new Mare Bleu Catholic High School with space for 1,400 students as well. Pour la communauté francophone, nous avançons aussi. Le gouvernement investit 9,7 millions de dollars pour agrandir l'école élémentaire publique Mamawi à Napian. Avec cet agrandissement, l'école pourra accueillir 104 de plus et offrir 39 places à service de garderie. It's good. So it's nice to have the child care in there as well. We had a good announcement yesterday on child care as well with the federal minister. So for these 3 local projects and others across Ontario, it means more students and families can focus on success close to home. By approving these projects now, we're helping boards move quickly, which means shovels can be in the ground as early as spring 2026. Families expect schools to be a place where, when and where they are needed and close to home, obviously. And as you see the community grow up around you in Barrhaven especially. I remember when I was a student here at Carleton University, way back in the 80s, go down Fallowfield Road and there was the petting, I'm not sure if it's still there, but there was nothing else really around Barrhaven. So to come out here and see the growth is absolutely spectacular. And Principal, I also want to thank you for hosting us today. So look, this is all just part of a modern, an expansion of our school system. We're providing one of the largest investments in new capital builds across the province of Ontario in its history. In every part of this province, every part of north, west, south, we are looking at our older schools. We're investing to bring new modern schools because we know that's what helps students learn best. We're making additions to other schools in communities that are growing. We're focusing on the Catholic, on the French boards, because what we're seeing is that as we, and on the public board, but what we're seeing as we build these new schools, and Principal, hopefully you can attest to this, as we build these new schools, it brings confidence to our students as well. It shows our teachers, our administrators that we have faith in them, and it shows them that we respect the work that they do each and every day. So that is why the province is making such a massive investment in the capital project across the province of Ontario. And without further ado, I'm going to call on Christian Charles Bouchard, who will talk about some of the investments we're making for that board. Thank you.
Bonjour à toutes et à tous. Good morning to all. Au nom du Conseil des écoles publiques de l'Est de l'Ontario, il nous fait plaisir d'être avec vous aujourd'hui pour cette importante annonce de financement qui aura un impact réel et durable sur notre communauté scolaire. Minister Calandra, I would like to take this opportunity to sincerely thank you for approving the expansion project of l'École élémentaire publique Mamawi. Thank you. Since our creation, our board has more than doubled in terms of both students and schools. Today's announcement recognizes the ever-increasing needs and demand for public French language education. Si on fait un bref retour dans le temps, l'École élémentaire publique Mamawi était d'abord un établissement que le CPO louait avant de pouvoir en faire l'acquisition, ce qui nous a permis de rénover et de transformer le bâtiment de cette école. L'école Mamawi offre un environnement d'apprentissage axé sur le développement durable afin de répondre aux besoins des familles du secteur népiyine qui souhaitent offrir une éducation de langue française de qualité à leurs enfants. Aujourd'hui, nous franchirons une nouvelle étape. Cet agrandissement nous permettra d'augmenter notre capacité d'accueil, d'améliorer les espaces d'apprentissage et d'offrir des environnements encore mieux adaptés aux besoins des élèves. Nous pourrons continuer d'agir fièrement comme un pilier communautaire incontournable pour nos familles francophones. This expansion project is much more than just putting up walls and adding classrooms. It is a long-term investment in our students who will continue to have access to high-quality French language education in modern facilities. In closing, I'd like to once again thank the Government of Ontario for this important funding. Merci aussi à nos partenaires, notre personnel et à nos parents qui nous font confiance chaque jour. Merci, thank you, bonne journée.
Good morning, and thank you for welcoming us here today. My name is Mary Dunahee, and I'm the proud director of the Ottawa Catholic School Board, and I am honored to be here on behalf of our board as we recognize this significant investment in a new Catholic high school for the Mare Bleu community in Orleans. This part of our city is growing quickly, and today's announcement helps ensure that students will have access to a school in their own neighborhood, built for innovative and future-focused learning. It is a step that will help prepare young people to thrive and contribute with confidence in an ever-changing world. We recognize that families have been waiting a long time for this moment, and we appreciate the support from the Ministry in Education and, of course, from Minister Calandra for making it a reality. A high school is more than just bricks and hallways. It embodies a sense of belonging, nurtures relationships, and offers opportunities. It is a place where students discover their strengths, find their voices, and envision possibilities for their future. Today's commitment from the government brings us one step closer to creating a space where moments of growth, connection, and discovery can unfold every day. I would like to thank the Ministry of Education once again for recognizing this need and for partnering with us as we respond to rapid growth across Ottawa's East End in Orleans. We look forward to continued collaboration as this project moves into its next stages and as we work together to support students and families across the Ottawa Catholic School Board. Thank you all for coming.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
I'll open the floor for questions from the media. Please state your name, your outlet, and a reminder it's one question, one follow-up.
Sorry, I am tall. Minister Calandra, Natalia Goodwin from CBC Ottawa Local. A question, 2026 brings more municipal elections, which usually involve school trustee elections as well. Given the situation at the OCDSB, should people be preparing to run, or will there be no elections here in Ottawa for that board?
Yeah, look, as I've been saying, I haven't yet provided advice to Cabinet with respect to the governance model going forward, and that would be potential changes province-wide, not just in the Ottawa-Carleton board. I hope to be in a better position early in the new year to put some clarity on that. I'm doing some work with respect to charter and constitutional issues. I want to make sure that whatever changes I bring forward, both respects to charter and the Constitution, but to be clear, there is nothing so far that leads me to believe that that has changed my mind anyway, that a $43 billion Ministry of Education budget should be delivered by trustees across the province of Ontario. So there's nothing yet that has changed my mind on that course. I don't foresee a world in which, even in the lack of changes, but even if there were no changes coming forward, and there will be, where the trustees are returned to the Ottawa-Carleton District School Board anytime soon.
So what would your message for parents be then that are still concerned over the fact that they can't get any, as much information as they used to be able to with calling their local trustees and going forward, given the circumstances here in Ottawa?
Yeah, look, I hear this. I've been hearing this on occasion, and we've been asking all supervised boards to monitor the situation with respect to parent calls and are the issues that are being raised in schools being addressed. And if anything, we have seen a reduction in that volume, not because people can't get a hold of people, because their first line is always and has always been not a trustee, it has been a teacher or a principal. That has always been the case in the province of Ontario. It will continue to be the case in the province of Ontario. Now, we have introduced and have asked all supervised boards, but all boards across the province of Ontario, to open up student and family help offices. And part of that is to answer questions right away, but it is also in part to help alleviate some of the stress that and I'm not saying that teachers have said they're stressed about it, because they're not. But, it's always to a teacher. It seems like always our response is go to the teacher, go to the teacher, go to the teacher, go to the teacher, go to the principal. These new offices will allow parents to call into the boards, know that their call has been answered, have a case file opened up. It'll be tracked. As a parent, you'll be able to see who is working on your file. It'll be the exact same people who the trustees turn to in order to facilitate the parent request, who will be doing this work, but we will then know who is calling, what are they calling about. There will be a file, it can be monitored, and that information can be then shared with the ministry so that we can address things much quicker. So I think, regardless of where we go in the new year, we will have a better way of meeting parents' expectations, and the system will be able to move much more quickly to address needs, but also to meet the realities of a changing educational system. So I always push back a little bit on that, because just, 40% of our trustees province-wide were acclaimed. Voter turnout was catastrophically low, the lowest probably in the Western world. Recent by-elections in other provinces had a 1% turnout. So I don't think it is the best way of addressing parents' needs any longer.
Thank you.
Sorry, that was a long-winded. I get all passionate about that one, because I do. As a parent, I know I always used to. I'll just say this last thing in defense. I feel bad for teachers. My wife is one of them. I shouldn't say that, but teachers are getting texts or emails at all hours of the night. I know we will do this once in a while if something is frustrating us. We'll send an email off to the teacher at 9 o'clock at night, and then you'll get a response back, and then you'll immediately feel guilty thinking, oh my gosh, we're calling or texting these people at 9 o'clock at night to give us an answer on our kids, and that shouldn't be the way the system works. I know they're grateful and they're happy to do it, but we can do better, and the ministry can do better by showing a little bit more leadership than we have.
Okay, thank you.
Bonjour.
Bonjour.
Sébastien Pierros du droit. Une question pour vous, Monsieur Calandra. On sait que dans les conseils scolaires de langue française à Ottawa, le nombre d'élèves pour cette rentrée a augmenté de 4000. C'est beaucoup. Est-ce que les financements que vous proposez aujourd'hui sont suffisants pour les écoles de langue française qui augmentent tout le temps, surtout à l'Est, surtout à Ottawa?
So I'll answer in franglais for you. Sorry, I'll go back and forth. Okay. So
It's okay.
thank you. Let me say this. I think what we're seeing in not only in Ottawa, if I can say this, across the province of Ontario, there has been an explosion of demand in our French schools, in our French language schools, not only in the French boards, Catholic and public boards, but also in the English boards and, I'm forgetting the word. Immersion, excuse me, French immersion. There is such a high demand also for French immersion. So it is something I am looking at. I think in this instance, yes, we have enough money that we can build a new school. There's another announcement, Louise Arbour, I know has been a topic of discussion. We've approved a build for that. But Bill 33 as well allows me, the minister, I know it's been a topic of discussion. The world is going to fall apart because of Bill 33, but what it does is allows me to look at the education system as a whole, and in very real terms, where we have underutilized public English schools, the minister can order those schools to the French board much quicker, and we will do that. We're doing that in the Parry Sound area. We're going to be doing that in the Sturgeon Falls area, and we're looking at that across the system, because when we invest and build a school, it is for the people of Ontario. The people of Ontario are investing significant dollars in these new schools, and it shouldn't matter which students are learning in them. But as you see, the French boards, I mean, like, they're exploding, and we got to make sure that they have sufficient dollars to meet the demand.
Je pose la question en français, and you can answer in English.
Thank you, yeah.
Il y a un dossier, c'est l'école Marie Curie dans le quartier Alta Vista. Je ne sais pas si vous en avez entendu parler. L'école est hébergée dans une autre école. Ils ont fait beaucoup de lettres, le CPO, je pense, à vous. Est-ce que vous êtes connaissant de ce dossier? Qu'est-ce que vous répondez aux parents d'élèves de l'école Marie Curie actuellement?
Yeah, I'm not, I won't pretend like I'm absolutely familiar with that, but I just want to say this. Today's announcement is the first stage of announcements. Usually what we do is at this time of year, we come before people and say, hey, we're going to give you $1.2 billion and it's going to happen over the next year. But what we've decided to do instead is have an ongoing process of announcing schools and approvals, bringing those approvals forward. So as opposed to asking them to crash the system with everything they got in a month, we're saying it's open all year round, and we're going to meet those needs throughout the year. There are a lot of schools. I said I'm not really familiar with that one, so I don't want to give you a long-winded answer. That I will look into that. I will say that all boards have been, but the French board, the French boards, Catholic and public, we're taking a real hard look at them because of the growth. Like it is quite remarkable, and in certain parts of the province, transportation to our French schools is, in many instances, I think, too long because of the lack of school space available for them, so there's more work to be done on that, and Bill 33 gives me an opportunity to make these moves much quicker.
Thank you very much. My last question would be for
Sure.
Mr. Bouchard. Alors, moi je voudrais savoir aussi, est-ce que vous avez une garantie de la part de M. Calandra qu'il ne mettra jamais votre conseil sous tutelle en vertu du règlement 23 de la loi sur les services en français, et lui avez-vous demandé une garantie?
Je ne vais pas m'aventurer pour répondre à cette question parce que je ne peux pas parler pour M. Calandra, bien sûr.
Donc, maybe Mr. Calandra wants to answer, yes?
Mais merci pour la question.
Je vais être très clair. Tous les échanges que nous pensons, c'est très important que nous respecter la Constitution, section 23. Oui, les écoles, le Conseil français, on a toujours demandé ça. Same with the Catholic system. There's constitutional guarantees. Madame Mulroney, the Minister of Francophone Affairs, who sits beside me in the House every single day, reminds me of that constitutional right and that constitutional guarantee. But I can say this, I want to be very clear on this, because I get this question a lot. There will be no closing of school boards. In whatever we do, we're not closing school boards. We're not amalgamating school boards. I'm not bringing in charter schools. I'm not merging the public system and the Catholic system together. That is not going to happen in the province of Ontario. And I will be a fierce protector of the constitutional and charter rights, both of the Catholic and of the French system. I think they are an integral part of delivering a very good education system in the province of Ontario. That does not mean that there can't be changes in the governance structure, and they will be, as I said to the Cardinal when we had a meeting, Cardinal Louis in Toronto, it's with you, not without you. And the same goes with on our French boards. We want them and all educators to be a part of the system. So you have an absolute guarantee, I can say that to you publicly, a guarantee on our Catholic and the French side that nothing that we do will infringe on your right to deliver education system whilst protecting your charter and constitutional rights. But that doesn't mean that there can't be change. in how we deliver that, and they will be a part of that. It's part of the reason why we're delayed. So I'm giving you a long answer because I want to be clear on this one. It is part of the reason why we're delayed in bringing forward any legislation because of the work that we are doing with respect to the constitutional charter process that surrounds these changes. I will say this last thing, which you all know. The English public trustees have no constitutional or charter guarantees. So I could strike a pen tomorrow and rid myself of all of them in one fell swoop if I wanted to. But that's not the case right now, even in the supervised boards. The Catholic trustees and supervised boards still exist. They deal with denominational issues, and that will always be the case, and the French board also has their guarantees, and we'll absolutely honor that. Cool. Thank you. So you didn't even have to ask, and I gave you
We will
the
now
guarantee,
invite
right?
our
So
last
take the
reporter to
pressure.
come up to the mic.
Yeah.
Hi, Tyler Fleming with CTV News in Ottawa. Minister, you're announcing funding for overcrowding, but earlier with the public board, funding to address overcrowding was pulled back. So are boundaries still being considered, like changes to boundaries in the public board still being considered?
Well, look, I'll say this and then I'll turn it over if I can. When I became minister, the Ottawa parents almost collapsed our phone systems at the ministry. I had never been inundated so much with calls of anger, frustration on a process, the boundary review process, and it really, between the emails and the phone calls, the anger and the frustration, which really started to open my eyes to some things that were happening here in Ottawa. So look, it's still always going to be an issue. There is going to have to be changes. I think what parents told me was that the process that was used in order to make those decisions was a faulty one. So there will always continue to be modifications to boundaries. I don't think that will ever stop, frankly. I don't know, do you want to speak about the new project, or am I putting on the spot by asking you to
I think you've covered it quite sufficiently, but...
She's got no choice. I mean, and the minister, so she has to say that, right? So I'm just kidding. But there will be changes. Like, to be clear, there will be changes, but I think it really was the process. People were just horrified by the process, the lack of involvement and lack of consultation, and how it was really starting to split up communities, and what they didn't seem was a reasonable way of doing it. But there will continue to be changes across the province when we need to modernize boundaries and we build new schools. That will continue to happen.
My second question is for Ms. Kay. In your new role as Director of Education for the Public Board, what's your vision? There's been a lot of turmoil in the last little while, so...
You've asked me a real softball. Thank you. It's obviously an honor to be here today and to be in such esteemed company with my fellow directors of education in Ottawa, and certainly with the support of the minister. I am optimistic and enthused to continue the fabulous work at the Ottawa Carleton District School Board. We are exceptionally excited to work with our incredibly talented and diverse staff in our fierce pursuit of student achievement and well-being. We know we have work to do to continue to make improvements with respect to student achievement and well-being, and we are committed in that approach. Announcements like today are certainly another area for optimism. We do know that there are several areas of our city that are expanding rapidly, and with new and modern facilities like we have here today at Wasasan, we know that we can deliver an outstanding public education for our students. It is the folks that I have the pleasure of working with each and every day, the talent, the care, the dedication to the students in their care that assure me that our future is bright in meeting the needs of our student, staff, and our parent community.
Good. Yeah, thank you very much, everybody. Appreciate it. Thank you.